Today we're heading to Modern to see if we can pick up some flawless victories with one of my all-time favorite cards, Upheaval. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Ado About Nothing. And this week, we are heading to Modern to play one of my all-time favorite cards, which is Upheaval, in this really interesting mono blue Upheaval shell. So let's talk about this deck, jump into some games, see it in action. So the card that we are all about today is Upheaval, 6 mana, bounce all non-land permanents, and it's a card that a lot of players, when they first start playing Magic, including myself, don't really understand the power of it. It looks very symmetrical, like you just bounce everything and then your opponent rebuilds and you rebuild. It kind of looks like it just slows down the game. But the trick to Upheaval is make a ton of mana. You can make a ton of mana, float all your mana, so you hopefully get up to like 10 mana, 12 mana, something like that. And then you Upheaval with a bunch of mana floating, and you get to immediately rebuild your board. Just dump your hand back on the battlefield, while your opponent does not get that opportunity. They don't get to float their mana. They're going to untap with all of their cards in hand and most likely play a land, discard a ton of hand size, and pass the turn. So it's actually super easy to break the symmetry of this just by making a ridiculous amount of mana. So how are we making all this mana? And in our deck, the answer is Urza, Lord High Artificer. Urza, it makes constructs that we can use to close out the game. It can shuffle and cast something for free, but the big deal is it lets us tap artifacts to make a mana. So this means if we can flood the board with artifacts, maybe playing Master Thopter. So when we cast artifact, we get an artifact Thopter token, along with a ton of cheap artifacts, Mishra's Bauble, Mox Amber, Memnite, Moonsnare Prototype, Springleaf Drum, Soul Guide Lantern, Thought Monitor. We can make a ridiculous amount of artifacts, tap them all to Urza to float all that mana, then we Upheaval, then we just recast everything, Urza and Sai and our cheap artifacts, and make a huge board and use them to win the game. The other interesting cards in this deck are a couple of synergy pieces. Emry, usually 1 mana, lets us loop our whatever Mishra's Bauble from the graveyard, get back artifacts from the graveyard, which is pretty powerful. And then Reality Chip is actually super sweet in this deck. With all the mana that we make, we can Reality Chip, we can equip it, then we can just start casting all of our cheap artifacts off the top of our deck is an absurd source of card advantage. And in a pinch, we can even change the top of our library. Like with Urza, we can shuffle and spin and maybe cast something for free, get a new card on top. So we almost do this like Bolas's Citadel-like chain of value coming off the top of our deck once we get Reality Chip going. Otherwise, 1 Metallic Rebuke for defense, mana base, pretty simple, islands, 3 Urza Sagas. In the sideboard, we get a bunch more interaction, a bunch of counters, some dismembers, a bunch more artifacts, Pithing Needle, Shadow Sphere, Soul Guide Lantern, Void Mirror, which work well with the theme of our deck. And that is Mono Blue Upheaval for Modern. That's our Much Ado deck for this week. So let's jump into some games and see, can we win with Upheaval in a mono blue deck in Modern? Let's find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap up. Looking to pick up some sweet Double Masters 2022 reprints while prices are cheap? Well, you can snag them all from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, by heading over to cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. All right, Much Ado About Nothing time. We are playing some mono blue Upheaval in Modern, and I mean, it sounds fine. Could use another free artifact, but close enough. We will keep it. We have a lot of good cards if we can get to them on time. Oh god. All right. So opponent, dirty Tron player. Yeah. Well, Mox Amber's actually good. Bauble, Amber, Emry, pass the turn. We'll figure out if we want to crack the Bauble. Opponent, turn 3 Tron. Well, at least we're gonna lose quick and easy. Warping Oil to kill our Emry. Well, let's crack the Bauble. Opponent kills our Emry, unfortunately. Now we're doing nothing for a while. Bauble, draw. Urza Saga. Well, play Urza Saga. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Opponent going to assemble Tron. Sure. Well, we have Void Mirror on the sideboard, I guess. Tron isn't especially top tier at the moment, so we don't have a ton of hate for it. Which does mean when we run into it, odds of getting punished extremely high. I mean, I guess Tron is probably tier 2, something like that. Opponent trying to get mismatched Tron pieces for the rub-ins. I can appreciate a good Tron trolling. Oh my god, another land. Okay, yeah, we kind of needed that Emry. Well, we can make a 2/2. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. 7 mana. Opponent, land, Oblivion Stone. Okay. So that means even if we do something, we're gonna get destroyed. Well, make a construct, untap, make a construct, lose a land. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Opponent blows up everything. Probably should have waited until he tutored, but whatever. Boom, send a message. The message is that we're super dead. Play the land, pass the turn. Opponent untaps with their dirty Tron cards. What do we got now, Tronny McGee? All right, 2 more mana and Karn. Opponent's even playing around the Metallic Rebuke. Sure. Okay. Well. Oh, our favorite modern deck strikes again. So we get 2 Void Mirrors. Not guaranteed to be good enough, but sort of relevant. We can bring in a Pithing Needle. Not sure our counters are actually that good. The problem with our counters is they're all soft counters, so they become irrelevant pretty quickly against Tron. Like, I think our hope is Upheaval, honestly. Void Mirror and Upheaval are the cards that could do something worthwhile. Like Spell Pierce, what do you do with Spell Pierce against Tron? Like on turn 1, on turn 2, stopping an Expedition Map or something is good, but its odds of actually stopping the payoffs once the opponent does their Troning is so low. Reality Ship seems so slow in this matchup. All right, 1 Spell Pierce it is. Run it like that. All right, 2 Void Mirrors. We will try it. Opponent doing some mulliganing. Going to 3, which means land, Karn. Should be expected. Well, the good news is with our opponent mulliganing so much, it should be hard for them to have Tron and have colored mana to get around Void Mirror. Well, Memnite, land, and go. We'd like to draw another land or a faster clock. Like, Tron will draw out of it. They will draw out of it eventually. Power Plant and Relica Progenitus. Now, play the land, play Moonsnare Prototype, and play Void Mirror. Go. Well, that's what we got. That is the defense we have at the moment. We also have 3 artifacts, so we're not that far away from Thought Monitor. Power Plant. I mean, our opponent can't cast anything or resolve anything until they get colored mana. Well, play Reality Chip and Moonsnare Prototype. We're basically trying to get enough artifacts that we can Thought Monitor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, an opponent cashes in there. All right. Well, we'll see. Opponent needs colored mana. Wow, they draw it. Okay, Forest for our opponent. Chromatic Star for more colored mana. And passes. All right, so tap this. Tap this. Reconfigure. Island. Emery. Okay, I guess we just pass. Wow, we milled 4 lands. All right, pass the turn. Opponent taps. We do need to speed up this clock at some point because our opponent is, we milled all lands, so we have no artifacts in the graveyard. We do need to speed up the clock at some point because sooner or later our opponent will still assemble Tron and will still do their thing. And Void Mirror is wow, at least they've drawn all power plants. And Void Mirror is losing its, Karn the Great Creator, is losing its juice here a bit. Well, what are we karning? This also shuts down a decent amount of our mana at the moment. Opponent tutoring a Wrath, I would assume. Opponent gets a Trinisphere. Yeah, we probably got to counter that, don't we? All right, opponent passes. Well, island off the top. How do we want to do this? Pithing Needle. Name Karn the Great Creator. We do need to leave up a mana for the Metallic Rebuke. Thought Monitor. I guess having Moonsnare Prototype in hand isn't the worst. We might actually channel it. Like, channeling it does seem somewhat relevant. Now we'll play another Emery. Keep the old one. Hopefully mill some cheap artifacts at some point. Well, Emery, yeah, okay. So we can't actually cast that in a meaningful way. So we'll attack the Karn. We do want to get it off the battlefield. Oh, opponent's still at 20, which is not ideal. Opponent untaps. I mean, we got to counter Trinisphere. That slows us down a bit too much. All right, so counter the Trinisphere. We untap. We draw another Emery. Oh my god, Upheaval. We could Upheaval. Is it worth it? Probably. Maybe? Go to combat. Kill the Karn. Oh, we should have hit our opponent for 2. Well, we got to kill the Karn. That's step 1. So now what we do is we Emery the Mox Amber, but we don't cast it yet. And then do we just wait another turn? You know what? I think we just wait another turn. Awkward. That turn went awkwardly. All right, pass the turn. Yeah, I think it's better just to wait. We don't have that much mana to rebuild. Opponent's gonna Sylvan Scrying, get another Tron piece. I assume our opponent is unlikely to have Warping Whale. Opponent gets another forest. Opponent's not even really trying to Tron. Plays a forest and passes. So we untap, we draw the Upheaval. Another Upheaval. All right, I mean, now we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So we can get in for 2. I mean, we got another one in hand, so I think this is fine. Get in for 2. Tap, float all of our mana, Upheaval. Pick them up, replay the land, replay Memnite, play the prototype, play Emery, mill some cards, and then Pithing Needle, Expedition Map? All right, pass the turn. That was not bad. That was not a bad turn. We will discard 1 land, 2 land, 1 Void Mirror, a prototype, probably Emery in prototype. Yeah, I think that's fine. And we have another Upheaval left over. So, worst case, we can do this again if we need to. Opponent, forest. Passes, and our opponent's not too close to doing anything impactful. Opponent's got to discard a card. Opponent didn't have to discard that much just because they mulliganed so much. They didn't have that many cards. Urza's Saga. Well, Emery. Get back the Mox Amber. Play the Mox Amber. Play an island. All right, Reality Chip. Ooh, Urza on top. Prototype. Thought Monitor. Draw 2. Bobble. And pass the turn. Okay. I like where we're at now. Opponent untaps. We might actually be beating Tron this game. Power Plant. Relica Progenitus. Sure. Hitting another counter would be kind of sweet. All right, opponent passes. Urza on top. So play Memnite. Play Urza Saga. Wow, we could have an insane Upheaval at some point. Play... We're tapping 2 artifacts to cast an Urza. That's silly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Urza. Make a bunch of mana. Tap. Reconfigure. Tap. Urza number 2. Keep whichever. Wow, now we're going off. Bobble. Tap. Urza 3. And yeah, we've built a pretty big board here. Emery, go after a Mishra's Bobble. If our opponent wants to crack the Relic, then I guess you got us. Bobble, and then tap, Void Mirror, go. That was a good turn. That was a pretty good turn. And we could, if we wanted to, oh my god, we could have the best Upheaval of all time. Like, this is the position we can get into. Unfortunately, we're just going to win the game. So instead of Upheavaling Tron, which... would be cathartic. I think we're just going to be responsible and win. Or our opponent's just going to scoop. But look at this board. 1, 2, 3, 4. How much mana do we have here? Let's just count for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 18 mana. So we float 18, we Upheaval, and we literally just recast everything. Like, we can recast our entire board, the whole thing. Opponent has nothing. We have everything. That's why Upheaval in Urza is so absurd together. Oh, okay, well, bad news is, that was Tron mulling to 3 and kind of stumbling around. If Tron is a good draw on the play, I am super scared. Super scared. Let's go down to Psy for Metallic Rebuke. Psy seems slow. Bring in the Metallic Rebukes. Go down 1 Emery. They got a lot of graveyard hate. Try it like that. So, I mean, we saw the recipe, though. The recipe for beating this deck is Urza Upheaval. That's what can possibly do it. We're not keeping this hand. All lands and some Thought Monitors is not going to get the job done. I mean, if we could get down the Urza, and then draw... Come on, no map. Starting on force means, okay, they do have the map, but starting on force means no turn 3 Tron at least. Play the Bobble, play the Memnite, pass the turn. I think we are going to crack, we'll crack on our opponent's upkeep. We're not going to need the card during their turn, but we are going to crack. Karn the Great Creator. Okay, we would rather that not resolve. Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, we're going to spell pierce it. I'm not sure if this is correct, but we gotta go for it. Hopefully they don't have another land. Oh, okay. Okay, they don't have another land. Oh, that's actually a really good draw. Prototype. Hit you for 1. This means we can potentially get Urza down next turn. And if our opponent whiffs on lands again, we're in business. We're in business, opponent. Do you draw land? I mean, this Urza's huge. This Urza's huge. Are we gonna beat Tron? Opponent. Chromatic Sphere. Sure. Passes. There's an Emery. Well, 1, 2, 3, tap it. Definitely getting Urza down. And then tapping the Construct to play Emery. And now we just need the Upheaval. Now we just need the Upheaval. That is a missing piece of the puzzle. We might be Tron. It looks so bad. Our Spell Pierce actually paid off in the best way possible. The greedy Tron keep, hoping to hit a land off the Ancient Stirrings. All right, opponent's gonna blow up a couple of our things. I mean, that is annoying. However, I mean, we got Urza down. We got a graveyard full of things we can cast, so we're not in the worst shape. Although losing the Construct is annoying. Opponent cracks. They're gonna hit a land eventually. Probably. Hopefully not. Normally I root for a good game against opponents. Against Tron though, I root for them to stay in one land forever. Even though our opponent's been very nice, I will say. I mean, nice for a Tron player at least. Urza's Saga. Emery. Get back. Bobble. Play Bobble. Go to combat. Hit ya. Urza number 2. Make a Construct. And you know what? We're going to draw a card. Let's see what they're drawing. Beseiju. All right. So it is a land, but probably not the land our opponent was hoping and dreaming for. Opponent's having a hard time finding the Tron pieces. Our clock is increasing. Opponent. Beseiju. This does let our opponent crack the map. So they get land number 3. Sylvan Scrying. That also gets land number 3. Okay. Urza's Tower. Yep. That's coming down next turn. Opponent going to pass. A prototype. That could actually be helpful in the future. Emery. Get back. Bobble. Cast it. Play the land. Go to combat. Hit ya for 5. Pass the turn. Moonstare Prototype could put like an Ensnaring Bridge or something back in the deck. It is actually a pretty good card. The removal mode doesn't come up much, but when it does, it really saves us. Opponent. Warping Whale to Urza. Well, we will... Make a Construct. Yeah, I think we just try to kill our opponent here. So we lose the Urza. And then untap. Construct. I mean, I think we just have lethal. And opponent scoops it up. Oh! We beat Tron! I mean, it did take our opponent running pretty clunkily, but we took down Tron. And our opponent, I will say, I know I like to meme on Tron, but our opponent was super nice. Not just for Tron players, nice overall. But we got there. We got there. Our Spell Pierce was so absurd on the Ancient Stirring, and we got him with Upheaval too, so that was a good one. That was a good one. Sweet. All right. Much more about nothing time. We are playing some mono blue Upheaval in Modern, and I mean, we got what, turn 2? Turn 2 Emery? Oh, play Prototype Snare. Play Mox Amber. I mean, I guess next turn we can Emery and Reality Chip. Opponent's on Yarion, so who knows? Some value pile. Snow-covered plains, and gets rid of the Mox Amber. Yup. Well, Island and Emery mill a couple cards. Pass the turn. All right, we got a Springleaf Drum. We milled a Sigh. Opponent Windswept Heath. And passing. We're actually going to get to use Emery. Ooh, that's sweet. Well, all right. Emery for the Springleaf Drum. Play it. Play the land. Play Reality Chip. And... are we playing the Prototype? Yeah, I guess so. Play the Prototype, pass the turn. Well, let's see what our opponent can do. Hopefully next turn, worst case, we should be able to Thought Monitor. Best case, maybe we can go off with Reality Chip. Although, in a world of solitudes, little sketchy just to fire off the equip. Opponent cracks, Windswept Heath. Stomping Grounds, untapped. Breeding Pool, untapped. And Teferi. All right, gonna bounce the Emery. All right, so we know we're drawing an island, and there's a Mox. All right, so play. Oh, we're gonna mill it, huh? Well, we can't do anything about it. Play the Emery. Island on top. Tap, tap, reconfigure. Island. And, yeah, all right. Double island's not ideal, but we'll pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Maybe we should play the Thought Monitor. I was expecting we'd get more out of that Emery pile. Opponent, abundant growth. And, I mean, we should be able to have a sweet reality chip turn at some point. Opponent, thinking. Passing? All right, sure. Well, untapping with Emery reality chip would be sweet. Oh, opponent, change of heart. Okay, kills the Emery. Yep. Opponent passes. Well, okay. Thought Monitor. Draw a couple cards. Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. Okay, configure. That is. Whee! Play the land. Alright, well there's the upheaval. Well, we will pass the turn. Hi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, only 19 lands. 19 land, 3 Urza sagas. Opponent. There's Old Busty the Omnath. Draws a card. And, alright, just a Sacred Foundry tapped. I gain some life. Passes. Alright, come on, reality chip. Be good. We would like to have a better upheaval than this. It's another upheaval. Well, I mean, upheaval. Not super exciting, but... So, play the land. Play the Springleaf Drum. Pass the turn. Discard a bunch of cards. We'll see if we get punished for discarding that many lands. There's not that many left in our deck. That's the issue. Opponent. I mean, our opponent should have to discard some to hand size too, which is nice. Untap land and abundant growth. Well, now we try to see if we can outrace our opponent on the rebuild. So opponent's also going to have to discard a bunch, which is good. They're going to have to discard powerful cards. Hopefully we do not. So we know we're drawing Mishra's Bauble, which isn't bad because it does help get the cost down of this Thought Monitor. That's the next step. And eventually Urza. One of these days. This is actually an Against Odds episode. It's Against Odds. Can we draw Urza? Opponent. Might have been greedy to keep the other upheaval, but I feel like we might need it again. Next time we get reality chip going, we could go a ways. So play the land. Reality chip, prototype, bauble. I mean, we are outpacing our opponent in the rebuild. I thought, wow, Eternal Witness Eladrami's call. All right, well, those are good cards to be in the graveyard. Opponent, misses, still has fetch lands. All right, cracks it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can Thought Monitor. Abundant growth number 2. I mean, at some point we'd like to upheaval again, I think. All right, so opponent passes. Springleaf Drum on top. Well, play prototype. Play Urza's Saga. Thought Monitor. Draw a couple cards. Springleaf Drum. Go. All right, opponent untaps. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we just need it. If we never find an Urza, if we can Urza's upheaval, then we win. We just haven't been able to find the Urza, so we had to do the bad upheaval. I mean, it was still pretty good for us. Like, we rebuilt a lot faster than our opponent, but not as good as we would like it to be. It wasn't just game over. We're gonna hit our land drops, which is nice. We were a little worried that we wouldn't hit our lands, but that's not gonna be a concern. We are still hitting the lands. Opponent cracks a Flooded Strand, Hollowed Mountain, yeah, and opponent is down to 13. I guess they're slowly having their life eaten away by their own mana base. Opponent. Risen Reef. All right, opponent's going to go on the card draw plan. Sure. And passes. Do we want to crack the bauble? Probably. Crack the bauble. See what our opponent's drawing next. Another Omnath. All right, so we get to draw 2. Take up the Saga. Well, 1, 2, 3. Reconfigure. Island. All right, go to combat, hit ya. I feel like we need to make a construct here. So opponent goes to 11. Like, this construct's gonna be pretty big. That's gonna be a pretty real threat. I mean, we're not in bad shape. This construct, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, opponent pitches a Fury, or pitches an Omnath to a Fury. Makes some dorks draw some cards. I mean, this obviously isn't good for us. Fury goes to the graveyard, Risen Reef triggers. We lose our creatures. The worst part of this is it means we're losing artifacts and we're losing mana. Stomping grounds for our opponent. Untap down to 9. And to Fairy. Going to bounce Reality Chip, okay. Well, we will make a construct, untap, make a construct, get Memnite. All right, let's see. Play the land, Soul Guide Lantern. Get rid of, probably Eternal Witness, I guess. There could be shenanigans there. Reality Chip. Another reality chip. Where's our Urzas? All right, go to combat. Attack you for 9. This should force the chump, right? All right, Solitude pitching another Omnath. So it doesn't force the chump, but it does force our opponent to pitch another Omnath. Gets a Risen Reef trigger, which is obnoxious. So opponent not dead yet. Oh, they have a... All right, opponent also has Ephemerate. Well, this is annoying. Sure, Risen Reef triggers. It's a land for elementals. So we lose our board. Opponent gets to keep the Solitude. He will pass the turn. We know we're drawing another reality chip that doesn't really do much. Opponent. Ephemerate. Hits the Solitude. Blinks the Solitude. Gets a Risen Reef trigger. Kills our construct. Opponents also refilled their hand pretty effectively here. Ren can kill our Memnite. Takes up to Fairy. All right, gets back Windswept to you, so not going to kill the Memnite. Breeding Pool tapped. Opponent passing. Hits us for 1. The big Onorino. Now what? We would really rather wait another turn, but there's a chance we just get comboed by Vivian. Well, draw a card. Reality chip. Sigh. Well, play the land, pass the turn. I think our plan here is to use Moonsnare Prototype to fizzle the combo if we have to. And then Upheaval next turn. Because if we wait until next turn, we can remake our land drop. I guess the only real risk of this would be... All right, opponent shuffles our graveyard back in. The only real risk of this would be if we lose the Memnite, we might not have the mana to cast it. But this is the turn where our opponent could go for the combo. I mean, I guess if we have to, we can... Wow, Omnath number 3. Well, opponent pitched a lot of them, but they keep coming. They keep coming. Opponent Risen Reef triggers. I guess if we're really desperate, we can use Moonsnare Prototype to put Memnite back on top of our deck if it's about to die. Because I do think we need to Upheaval next turn. Is our opponent comboing? Risen Reef number 2. I mean, this is just going to be a lot of cards our opponent has to discard to hand size. It's a land. Triggers Omnath down to 30. Opponent, keeping the fun going. Elidrami's Call for what? Fury. Takes up to Fairy, gets back a land, goes to combat, hits us for a bit. Well, we'll take it. Down to 24. Opponent passes. All right, well, Urza Saga. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We will Upheaval. Pick 'em up, pick 'em up. Pick up all those elementals, opponent. And then we will Memnite. Opponent's not happy about the latest one. Oh, got him. Ah, they scoop it up. Yes. That's better than actually winning by far. Given the choice between actually winning and getting our opponent to do a little cursing in the chat and then scooping, that is way better. Way better. All right, so what do we want against this deck? Oh my god. Elemental, maybe combo-y, pile of stuff. So Soul Guide Lantern does shut down our opponent's combo. Doesn't stop us from losing to elementals. I think our opponent might have scooped just because they're low on time. The challenge is going to be, can we keep Teferi off the battlefield? I mean, they are a deck with a ton of cards. What are their odds of drawing it? You would have think they would have learned by now that they always draw it. They always draw it. I don't know if they're comboing or not. I am not sure. What do we cut? So I think we want the Mystical Disputes at least. Dismembers, maybe? Oh, we got actually a lot of sideboard cards. What do we go down, though? The Upheaval was obviously great. Even without the Urza, it was still great. Maybe, like, just trim? do some trimming, bring in some counters. Are we going down an upheaval? Oh, I really don't want to. Maybe we can't bring in this many cards. Go down one of everything. Let's do that. Yeah, all right, let's try. Let's try something like that. Little trimming, a little bit of removal, a couple more counters. The risky part about the counters is if our opponent gets Teferi going, they're pretty much dead cards. Well, there's Urza. I mean, we're gonna keep this. One land is scary, but I do like the Emrys. We get to Memnite, Emry. Hopefully get some card draw or something. Opponent, Misty Rainforest and passes. Well, Memnite's for days. Memnite. I mean, maybe we can win with Memnite beats. Memnite, land and Emry. Mill some cards. Pass the turn. Well, the Mox Amber would be good if we can get to it. Opponent. We just need manas. Gets a tap land. Our opponent might have scooped to save time too. That's possible. Okay, pitches Fury. Going to wrath our entire board. Well, now we really need to draw land. Fury is a messed up Magic card. Fury pitching Fury. Wraths our board here on turn 2. And, well, I guess we need a top deck. Opponent breeding, pool tapped. 0-mana artifact would be something. A land would be the best. All right, Urza Saga counts. Memnite. Urza Saga. Emry number 2. Mill some cards. Please stop furying us. Mill Upheaval. Opponent untaps. Our opponent did 2 for 1 themselves. Well, 2 for 3, I guess, but they did go down a card to play that Fury. Although elementals are pretty good at digging out from under that Risen Reef to draw cards. Hits a land and passes. So we're going to get an Emry activation. That's sweet. All right, opponent passes. We draw a land. Ooh. All right, take up Urza Saga. Well, we're going for it. We're going to Emry. We're going to get back Mox Amber. Play Mox Amber. Land. And Urza. Make a construct. Get in with the Memnite. If they kill it, we'll accept it. And this is kind of where we want to be. We're getting so close, if our opponent doesn't have removal, to the Upheaval Urza plan, which is so insane. Opponent untaps. What do they have? How bad is it? Are we dead? At least they're down 2 Furies. That's something. Solitude. I can still have Solitudes. Solitude Ephemerate. That would make us very sad. Ah! Oh, wait, connected or? Ah! Got him. We took away their will to live. Opponents playing a $2,000-ish most devastating value deck in the format, and we upheavaled them out of their will to play Magic, which that is, oh, that's the dream. That's the dream. That's the dream. That is upheaval in action, and that was exactly what we want to do. Oh, that was so good. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are playing some mono blue Upheaval in Modern, and well, this hand doesn't look good, but it's got land, so I think that's enough to make us keep it. Opponent Overgrown Tomb, untapped, and the Glistener Elf. Oh boy. Well, play a land, play a Mox Amber, pass the turn. Well, we might just be dead right this second then. Opponent untaps, Misty Rainforest, cracks it. Snow-covered forest. Might of Old Croza gets in for 5. Crown Swell gets in for 9. Well, play Urza Saga. Yeah, we're already in chump block mode here on turn 2. Play the Emry, mill some cards. Mill the Urza. Opponent untaps. Ink Moth Nexus. Oh, geez. So now we're dead in a bunch of ways. Opponent goes attacking. We got a block. Opponent, okay, wakes up. We will block. Yeah, Ink Moth is definitely an issue because we can't stop a flyer at the moment. This might be a bad matchup. Blossoming Defense kills the Emry. And yeah, there's not a... We draw Springleaf Drum, take up Saga, and dead. Well, the lesson here is don't lose die rolls to Infect. TLDR, if you run into Effect, don't lose the die roll. We can bring in 2 Dismembers, but really, this is bad in about a million different ways. I wonder, are we just drawing dead to Infect? Is there any way is there actually any chance that we beat Infect with this deck? The answer might be no, honestly. All right, run it like that. All right, well, I mean, we have a Dismember, which is good. Land, go. Opponent, thinking about untapping, does untap, plays a Peat land. And a Glistener Elf. Well, we will kill that. Hopefully that's our opponent's only threat. Emry. Well, we will play Memnite. We will play Mox Amber. We will play Emry and mill some cards. Our buddy Urza. Yeah, let's play the island, pass the turn. We want to try to get down Thought Monitor next turn, assuming the Emry lives. Opponent, Verdant Catacombs cracks it. Breeding Pool. And Blighted Agent. Okay, that one's unblockable, so that's going to kill us through any number of things. We draw a Sigh. Well, alright, Emry. Memnite. Cast it. Feels tough. This feels real tough. Actually, no, let's Urza Saga. Let's play Sigh. I don't think it really matters either way. I think we're just dying no matter what we do. Play the Sigh. Play the Memnite. I mean, this is not a bad draw for our from our deck, but it's not a draw that stops Blighted Agent here. All right, trigger, pass the turn. Well, get him for one. Maybe your opponent, maybe they want to block. Play some defense with that Blighted Agent. All right, so odds are we die right now unblockably. Opponent needs 2 cards and we're dead. Snow-covered swamp. All right, Phyrexian Crusader, so we're not dead yet, which is good. I would rather not be dead yet. Given the options between the two, I would choose not dead. All right, opponent passes. Well, we can draw some cards this turn. Moon Snare Prototype. Oh, that's so much mana. So much mana. How much does this cost? 3. All right, well, play the Prototype. Get the cost of our Thought Monitor down. Thought Monitor. Draw some cards. Please be good ones. Now, Memnite. I mean, we're going off. This is turn 4. We're going off. Doesn't necessarily keep us alive against Infect, but we are going off. Thought Monitor. Draw some cards. Come on, deck. Memnite. And I guess hit ya. I mean, look at this board. This is an impressive board. The fact that we weren't literally dead yet last turn is some bit of good news. We'll see if that keeps up. Boy, if we hit Urza, we win so hard. Might of Old Croza. All right, on the Blighted Agent. And Might of Old Croza. All right, just infect things. Well, our deck did cool things there. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are mulliganing with Mono Blue Upheaval. Well, we got an Upheaval. Sounds kind of fine. We actually are probably putting Upheaval to the bottom. Yeah, we'll keep this. Yeah, I think we got to Upheaval to the bottom for now. A little bit early for an Upheavaling. Land, and you know what? I think we play the Mox Amber. It doesn't do anything yet, but opponent could be Thought Seizing. Opponent, Scalding Tarn, and passes. Island, Reality Chip. Go. So I think our hope is to surprise our opponent with Memnite, equip Reality Chip next turn, and then maybe get some value off the top of our deck. Opponent, Island, and passes. Memnite. We're going to go for it. They're going to counter the Memnite. I mean, if our opponent counters a Memnite, we're kind of fine. Oh, they're going to kill the Reality Chip. Wow, they counter. Okay, they counter the Memnite. All right, so... Emry, mill some cards. Land, reconfigure. Didn't mill much good. Wow, main deck Surgical to get rid of Sigh. Okay. Well, we didn't really necessarily want... Oh, are they playing mill? Maybe our opponent's playing mill. My headset's sounding weird at the moment. They might be playing mill. Main deck Surgical and Drown in the Lock would suggest mill, which would also suggest that Upheaval's not going to be that great. Oh, another land on top. All right. Well, the good news is our opponent might not have that much. Interaction. Schwamp and Tasha's Hideous. Ooh, into an Urza. That's what we wanted to see. Please don't Surgical a Memnite or something. Opponent passes. This actually gives us a real clock, which is huge. Okay, so let's think about this. Play the Island off the top. Play Springleaf Drum off the top. Emry for Memnite. Cast the Memnite. Memnite for Urza off the top. And another Mox Amber. And, well, tap. I think we just play another Urza. to get another construct. Doesn't matter which one we keep, get another big construct, and then tap that for Moonsnare Prototype. And all right, your go. That was a good turn. That was a really surprisingly good turn, opponent. All right. I mean, I don't think they can mill 31 cards here, and they're going to need some serious removal to not die. Opponent going to draw a card. Whew. Yeah, when you see Vision Cycle, you're always happy. That's usually a sign your opponent's desperate, because it's so much better if you can draw 3 with it. All right, opponent needs removal for days. All right, kills a construct, sure. And I mean, we're still set up to play things off the top of our deck, and if the top of our deck fizzles, we can spin with Urza, so we're in good shape. All right, Urza Saga into a land. All right. Urza, spin it to win it, get rid of this land into, ooh, okay. All right, Mishra's Bauble. So we have a Thought Monitor for when we need it. Prototype. Can we actually get to lethal here? Maybe. Bauble. Oh my god, there's Upheaval. Well, that's going to be for next turn, I think. Thought Monitor. Draw a couple cards. Opponent cracks. If our opponent has removal, we might Upheaval him now just to send a message. Like, if they can kill the construct, then I think we just Upheaval him and... okay. I think they just want to look at our deck. So opponent's going to get rid of the Mox Ambers. Draw some cards. Reality Chip isn't helpful. 10, 11, 12, 13. So... do some tapping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin Urza. Memnite. And opponent scoops it up. Wow, that was good. So we didn't actually Upheaval with Urza, but boy is Urza a magic card. Good lord. I really like this deck. This deck is sweet. This deck's super sweet. All right, so opponent's playing Mill. I think we want counters for days. Could see an argument for Dismembers. Like, if our opponent draws and plays Crabs, it can be bad. Full Guide Lantern. Cannot exile our graveyard, so probably not worth it. How do we find room for all of these cards? That's a real question. What's bad? I mean, Reality Chip Urza. Oh, so this deck has so many sweet synergies. This deck is just super fun to play. Maybe we trim a couple Springleaf Drums. I guess there's a downside to Emery too. Like, milling 4 against a mill deck is kind of awkward. We definitely want all the Urzas. Maybe we just go something like this. Ooh, can we keep it? Can we keep it? We're gonna keep it. Leyline of the Void. Sure. I mean, yes, I guess that shuts down Emery, but opponent Scalding Tarn. Crab. Crab is annoying here. There's Crab number 1. Opponent passes. We do need to draw land at some point. I'll play the land, play the Mox Amber, and yeah, I think we pass and leave up Mystical Dispute. Opponent. We got a lot of counters, which I like, but we don't have many lands, which I dislike. All right, let's see what they mill. So opponent gets to mill 6. We only really have 2 Dismembers that can reasonably deal with this crab, so it's probably happening. Opponent gets a Watery Grave, untapped. Emery, Sigh. Well, there goes 1 Dismember. And wow. Okay, that's good. If we had drawn 6 non-lands in a row, we would have been in trouble. Cycles Fractured Sanity to mill. Well, there were not a lot of lands on the top of our deck. I guess this is hopefully good for us, because we really do need another land. Land? Ha-ha! All right. So, play Moonsnare Prototype and pass the turn. So next step is getting Psy down somehow. If we can get down Psy and protect it with counters, that could be our win con. Opponent mills. Well, all right, this crab's gonna live forever. Ensnaring Bridge. Well, yes. Probably cannot let that resolve. Well, come on, land. Come on, land for Psy. Opponent passes. Land, Urza. Oh, all right. Well, pass the turn. So close, so close. We need 1 more land. Opponent untaps. And cycles Fractured Sanity. So our opponent's being very careful to avoid casting many spells. Well, our deck has a lot of lands left in it. Opponent's going to pass. We draw land for Psy. All right, there's the land. So 1, 2, 3. Play Psy. And then, yeah, I think we just pass and leave up. We only can leave up Metallic Rebuke, or we can only leave up, So the only counter we can leave up is Mystical Dispute. So that doesn't actually get removal spells that would target Psy most likely. So you know what I think? I think we just play the Prototype actually. All right, so shields down. Getting a Thopter is big, because that's going to give us mana next turn to get this Urza down, even if our opponent can kill the Psy. All right, fetch land's bad. Opponent mills us, and Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Oh, jeez. Oh, we're dead. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. That was the best Tasha's Hideous Laughter I've ever seen. Well, I guess that's the downside of going shields down. Holy mother. Woo! Okay, so, you know what? I think we bring back in an Upheaval, go down one more Emery, and run it like that. I'm not even sure lane line's bad for us. It's slow, but we can kill a crab. All right, we're gonna keep this. It gets much faster if we draw a cheap artifact or two, and I like that we can dismember a crab. Our life total's not especially relevant here. So this isn't a fast hand, but we got a bit of defense, which I like. Opponent, mulligan for a ley line of the void. Opponent's really putting a lot of value in that ley line of the void, which I'm not actually convinced is worth it, but we'll see. Island for opponent, and passes. Cheap artifact, please. All right, well, we're gonna have all the lands we need this game, which I guess is good. Opponent untaps. Like, exiling our graveyard turns off some of our opponent's spells, right? Like, I don't know if that's just automatically a good thing for our opponent. Plays an island, passes. Well, play the land, and pass the turn. Like, it such off their surgical extractions. Opponent, cycles Fractured Sanity, mills. All right, a bunch of stuff that is not super important here. Opponent untaps. We do need to find a finisher at some point. Field of Ruin, and Pump Fix, and passes. All right. We draw Urza. Ooh, Urza's great, but I think we got to wait. Play the Mox Amber, pass the turn. Yeah, I think we gotta wait until we can leave a counter up, or until our opponent taps down. Urza's just so good. Polluted Delta, opponent. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. I think we let this one go. Oh my goodness, it was still really good. All right, it's always really good. Opponent passes. We draw Psy. All right, well, we're gonna play the Psy. Actually, we can't play the Psy. Emery mills us. Mystical Dispute's a thing. All right, I think we gotta pass. We need another mana until we can do things. If we get another mana, we can do things and leave up the Metallic Rebuke. Opponent. 5 cards in hand, plays another fetch land. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Well, we gotta try to counter this one. We can't let our opponent just keep doing this forever. Opponent lets it go. Well, now we're out of counters, so we might as well run things out and hope for the best. Just kidding, that's a Metallic Rebuke, but next turn they can pay for it. Well, let's help our opponent a bit. I mean, the upside at Emery, even though it's painful to mill for, is it does turn on the Mox Amber. So that gives us the extra mana that we need to actually cast our stuff. Opponent gets a Watery Grave. Opponent thins the deck. The big problem is we only got 23 cards left in our deck. Opponent's throwing a lot of Tasha's Hideous Laughters. Opponent land and passes. Well, play Urza. Get a not that big construct, pass the turn. So we're again shields down as far as counters, which is a bummer. Opponent kills the construct. The old Drown in the Lock, Ley Line of the Void combo, working out well for our opponent here. Opponent, land. Do you have mill cards? Pump Fakes, passes. Well, there's an island. Play Psy. Not that it really does much. Go to combat, attack you for 2. Where's our artifacts? We have drawn like just a Mox Amber. That's what, I mean, I guess this Thought Monitor is an artifact eventually, but it's so slow without other artifacts. Opponent Greg's Polluted Delta. Yes, Metallic Rebuke does not look great anymore. Opponent untaps. Ensnaring Bridge. So how do we win this game? I guess Upheaval, really. All right, Ensnaring Bridge. Our team is small enough to attack through it at the moment. So opponent does need to try to get empty-handed eventually. So we're gonna need the Upheaval. Or Moon Snare prototypes. Oh, that's an Upheaval. Well, I don't think we cast it quite yet. Thought Monitor. Make a Thopter, draw a couple cards. Memnite. I mean, okay, so the plan is to survive this turn and win next turn. Opponent's going to drown in the lock. What? Oh, they're countering the Memnite? Okay, sure. Go to combat, attack you. So we still have our counter up. Next turn might be the Upheaval turn. Could still use some more artifacts, but opponent goes to 11. Opponent untaps. Extirpates Polluted Delta from their own deck to thin their deck and get out of cards. Opponent draws a land. Well, the time may have come. How good of an upheaval can we even cast? We draw Spell Pierce. So let's see. So float all of our mana, 9 mana, upheaval. Pick 'em up, pick 'em up. That's one way around an Ensnaring Bridge and a Leyline of the Void. And we can immediately replay Urza, which is kind of great. So land, Urza, Mox, Amber. I don't think we want to play Emery. Pass the turn. I think we just discard Emery. So discard Emery. Emery, Urza, Island. I guess Urza. All right. Well, hopefully we can use this to close out the game now. Hopefully. Island for our opponent. Visions of Beyond, only drawn 1. Wow. Okay, so that was actually Urza Upheaval. We actually did it. It was not quite as spectacular as it could be, but Upheaval recast Urza is pretty good. And now our opponent has no defense, and our counters are back on. So we should be able to just tempo our opponent out before they can mill us. All right, they get rid of our Urzas, but we actually discarded most of them anyway, so. Urza's down. Opponent does get to see our hand, which I guess lets them know that it's unbeatable. Opponent goes to 8 and passes and discards. The upheaval's been good. The upheaval actually, maybe we shouldn't have cut it in game 2. Well, draw an island, play an island, go to combat, hit you for 3. And yeah, we're just gonna pass. Go 2/2 constructs about it. Swamp and Surgical's Emery. So opponent's on the try to mill us out with Surgical Plan. I don't think it's gonna work. We're like a free artifact away from potentially just winning right now. Dismember. Well, play the land. Go to combat. Hit ya. Well, I guess we're gonna do it the slow way. No reason to run anything out. This was an awkward draw, but upheaval saved the day. Sometimes that's all you need. About it. Looking, thinking, counting, dying. Plays an eye. Oh, I love Upheaval. Upheaval, so I'm so glad they added Upheaval to Modern. Modern Horizons 2 rightly gets a bit of a bad rap because of the busted cards. However, it did add a lot of fun cards too. Yeah, Spell Pierce it. And about it, gonna pass. We will untap. We will just politely attack. There's a Mox Amber, but we don't need it. Get in there with the slowest Urza beads. Taking down mill, Upheaval style. Sweet. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are playing some Moonsnare Prototype Tribal. You know, I think we actually keep this. We're gonna need something. But we got a lot of cheap artifacts to get to this Thought Monitor. Like, if we can draw pretty much any creature, actually, okay, let's think about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? I think we play the Mox Amber too. I don't know. There's value to holding it in hand because of things like Psy. But at the same time, Thoughtseizes is a card a lot of decks play. Temple Garden, untapped, and oh god, Boggles. All right. Well, we'll play an island. We'll play Moonsnare Prototype. So you know what our possible avenue for success here is, don't you? The answer to that question is Upheaval. Upheaval could be the card that could let us stay in this game. Opponent, Spider Umbra. Upheaval don't care. Opponent, Rancor, gets and hits us. Well, come on. Island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll play Urza Saga. Trigger it. Hopefully we don't die this turn. So we get to draw a couple cards. Play a Soul Guide Lantern so we can crack it to draw a card. Pass the turn. Not the best draws off the Thought Monitor. Yeah, Boggles is tricky. We don't really have a plan for the old Boggles here other than upheavaling. Upheavaling is like our get out of jail free card in every matchup. Opponent, nothing too scary. All That Glitters would be bad. Daybreak Coronet would be bad. All right, there's the All That Glitters. So we're taking 7. Opponent's only got 1 card in hand, which is something. We draw Mox Amber, not great. All right, play the island. Pass the turn. So we can make a construct, but it's not big enough to actually stop a Glade Cover Scout. And this is assuming our opponent doesn't have anything else to go on it. Land, okay, that's fine. Cracks. Into nothing, please. Hyena Umbra. Add first strike to the pile. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent's going to attack. Well, okay, so make a construct. Nothing we can tutor is good enough to get us out of this, right? Let's look at our deck list real quick. After sideboarding, the Shadow Sphere is actually like kind of insane. But right now, yeah, we can't really get anything that matters. So I think we're pretty much all in on trying to upheaval. So block to soak up some damage. Draw a card. Prototype. Oh, that's 5 mana. We draw a bobble. All right, make the construct. I guess we're in chump block mode. Get a Mishra's Bauble. Play another Mishra's Bauble. Play a land. Yeah, so I think the plan is pass the turn, chump block, double bobble, all right, Spirit Dancer to draw some cards. Well, hopefully their last card's not a, oh, it is an aura. All right, Grow in the Dork. Didn't hit any legends this game either. All right, opponent goes to combat. So we get a couple looks at something. All right, let's see what's on the top of our deck. Reality Chip. See what's on the top of our opponent's deck. Spirit Dancer. So we get to draw 3 cards. Reality Chip. Memnite Psy. All right, so play Psy. Play Memnite. Play Mox Amber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I mean, I think our hope is to use Moonsnare Prototype to stay alive. All right, another Spirit Dancer. Unsure if it'll work. Opponent goes to combat. So this is gonna be, okay, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we need to soak up 3 damage. Hopefully we're counting this right. So if we soak up 3 and then bounce all that glitters, we live, I think. Hopefully. That's the plan. I mean, they could have Path in hand and then we lose. Maybe it's too greedy to not block with even more. Opponent saying good game. Well, all right, get rid of all the glitters for now. It could be Path in hand. All right, we go to 1. All right, we get one more draw. One more draw. It's got to be Upheaval. Upheaval, I think, is only out here. If it is Upheaval, anything could happen. Oh my God, it's Upheaval. Okay, so unsure if this will be enough, but it means we're not immediately dead. Tap, tap, tap. Float all of our mana. Oh, but we can't get Psy back down. I guess another reason to block differently is keeping an extra creature so we can make an extra mana with Prototype. All right, Upheaval. I mean, this is what we got. It does keep us alive for now. Pick them up. Replay the land. Play Mox Amber. Play Reality Chip. Play Prototype. Pass the turn. All right. Oh, we're at 1 though. 1 is not a lot of life. Not a lot of life. Opponent land untapped. 1-drop returns. So we're gonna need another Upheaval in the near future. Opponent passing. Discarding. Oh, Upheaval's so good. Why are there not more Upheaval decks in Modern? It's so good. It's so good. Now if we could start making big constructs, maybe we could actually block for a bit and stay alive that way. Another Springleaf Drum on top. Play the land. Play Psy. Play Springleaf Drum. Play Moonsnare Prototype. Pass the turn. So we're basically trusting that this Reality Chip Thopter keep us just barely alive. So Rancor gives Trample. So hopefully they can only get it to 4 power. Hyena Umbra, yeah. And I assume Rancor. They need the Trample. All right, there's the Rancor. This does mean we need to find something else to stay alive. Opponent goes attacking, we block, stay at 1. I mean, we're fighting the good fight, that's for sure. Opponent passes. Okay, so Thought Monitor. Draw a couple cards. Looking for Urzas and Upheavals. Okay, there's an Urza. We gotta tap 1. All right, so tap a Thopter. Play the land. Urza. If we win this, it would be insane. Mishra's Bauble, make a dork. Springleaf Drum, make a dork. And pass the turn. Hit you a bit. That construct is here. Is there a chance we win this? Oh my God, opponent taps. We can use Prototype to get rid of something. Oh my goodness. Oh, this would be the most absurd win. We top deck the Upheaval the turn before we die. Spirit Link, okay. That doesn't beat us. Our opponent actually really truly did good game us too. Oh, just a Spider Umbra? Okay. I mean, I think that means we win. They can't get through the construct. They can't get through the construct. Oh my god, I can't believe we won this. Upheaval! Oh my goodness, that Upheaval. Opponent goes to combat. I mean, we have a 13-13, so opponent passes. We might as well crack the bobble. I mean, we're going for the win. Oh, Mana Tithe. Okay, good to know about that. Glad we saw that. Another Urza. Well, play the land. So opponent has double Umbra. If we attack with everything, what happens? Opponent blocks here. This doesn't have trample. All right, so go to combat. I think we just get in with the flyers. Get in with the flyers. Actually, we're gonna make another huge, you know what? Let's get in with the construct too. Get in with everything. I mean, at worst, this gets rid of a totem armor, which is somewhat relevant. So opponent gains a bit of life, loses a totem armor, goes to 17, back down to 10. Moonsnare prototype has been huge. Huge. Like, that's a card that's kind of... That and Upheaval. Oh, another Upheaval would be so absurd. Oh my god. Now I wish we had the reality chip. With all this mana, this equipping would actually be strong. All right, opponent gets rid of the Spider Umbra. All right, play another Urza, make another construct, keep the old one, and pass the turn. Opponent untaps. And we've come a long way from our opponent thinking the game was over a bunch of turns ago. All that glitters. Sure, still not big enough to get through though. Opponent passes. All right, we untap Island. And opponent scoops it up. Upheaval! Oh my god. I cannot believe that actually worked. So Shadowsphere in. Soul Guide Lantern out. Pithy Needle no. Spell Pierce Metallic Rebuke maybe? Oh, the Dismember's so greedy, but probably worth it. Those are the cards we're interested in. Upheaval's obviously absurd. When you go down Springleaf Drum, maybe a reality chip. Maybe we're just trimming again. Like one Emery. Is Dismember worth it? It only kills the Boggles if we have Shadowsphere. Maybe we go one Dismember. Maybe something like that. Couple more counters, a touch removal in the Shadowsphere, and just hope for the best. Hope for the Upheavals. Well, this hand has a lot of stuff, but not enough mana. We're gonna mulligan. This hand does not have much stuff, but it has a lot of mana. I mean, it does have Urza's Saga. Urza's Saga goes a little bit of a ways towards keeping us alive. All right, Slips, of course. Another prototype. Well, play a prototype and go. Opponent. Horizon Canopy. Ethereal Armor. Sure. And Rancor. That's fast clock. Opponent gets and hits us. Oh, more lands. Oh, Urza's Saga. Go. Yeah, not feeling good about this one. This is more... I mean, maybe we definitely got lucky last game. We got lucky to... Oh, boy. Daybreak Coronet. Yeah, so now we're dead. We're dead even through... Yeah, we're just dead. I mean, we'll see what we draw. I don't believe there's a card in our deck, though, that stops this. Thought Monitor. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well... That's more what I expected from the Boggles. We might have just had a miracle to win game number 1. Run it back. You know what? This is kind of hilarious. We're going to keep this almost exclusively because of Shadowsphere. Shadowsphere actually means we can dismember a Boggle. Opponent keeps 7 again. All right, well, Shadowsphere, go. About it. Untaps. Horizon Canopy. Boggle. About it passes. Play an island. Pass the turn. We still need a payoff, though. So in our perfect world, our opponent casts some auras, and then we get them with Dismember. Forest. Psy would be nice. Sign to the Mox Ambers. Glade Cover Scout. And Griff's Boon. All right, we're going to need more than that. Opponent gets and hits us. Down to 18. Reality Chip. Well, I mean, we might as well play it. Play the land, play reality chip, see what's on top. Hopefully something good. I mean, that's a little bit good. Mox Amber, Moonsnare prototype. We're running out as much as possible to try to be able to get down this Thought Monitor next turn. Well, we'll see. We got to get max value out of this Dismember. We can't just kill a Slippery Boggle with a Griff Spoon on it. That's not going to be enough. Rancor. Okay. Now I'm worried about Mana Tithe. Would have been nice to fizzle the Rancor, but opponent goes to combat. gets and hits us. Sure. So we take our beats down to 14. Opponent passes. Thought Monitor. Overtapping. Thought Monitor. Draw a couple cards. Mishra's Bauble. Second Mox Amber. And pass the turn. I think our opponent has a path. You could see him doing something. All right, gonna path the Thought Monitor. I mean, this is okay. This is okay. Upheaval on top. All right, shuffle right back into the Memnite. Yeah. Opponent untaps. So, I mean, if they go crazier, we can dismember the Slippery Boggle. Although these are all auras that come back in one way or another. Another Rancor. So if we kill this, we go to 10. Our opponent gets the Rancor back. All right, I think we got to do it now. So Shadow Sphere. Dismember. So we fizzle one Rancor. Opponent gets the other one back. They do get the Glade Cover Scout going. Yeah. There's the Rancor. So the other question is, we got to live 2 turns. Do we crack this Bauble? We go to 7. I think we do not crack the Bauble. We untap. I think we want the mana. So we 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Urza. Make a big construct. 1, 2, 3. Attach Reality Ship to Urza. Play the land. 1, 2, 3. Play Psy. Play Memnite. And I mean, this is it. Do we live through this turn? Can our opponent kill us right now? If not, we got a shot because we can gain a bunch of life with this Shadow Sphere. And we have this Moonsnare prototype. Spider Umbra. Okay. 4 power. All that glitters would be annoying. Blade Cover Scout. Okay. Not dead. Not dead, and that's all that matters. Opponent. That's all that matters. Opponent passes. We untap. Play the island off the top. Another island. Awkward. So we will, let's see, tap, equip, spin Urza, and opponent scoops it up. We be Boggles! Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe this deck's actually legit. Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna draw the Upheaval too. Yeah, okay. Well, our opponent didn't know the Upheaval was coming, but they were dead because we could have Upheavaled right now if we wanted to. Wow. All right, this deck's sweet. This deck's super sweet. Well, got him. Sweet. So what did we learn this week about Mono Blue Upheaval in Modern? And I gotta say, the deck actually felt really good. We ended up going 4-1. More importantly, the deck is just super sweet and super fun to play. We had some ridiculous games. We got opponents just scooping to our Upheavals saltily with an empty board. We had that ridiculous game against Boggles, which I still don't know how we won. We luckily top decked the Upheaval, bounced everything, managed to stabilize it 1 life and get back in the game. We managed to take down Tron somehow, our most hated enemy in the Modern format. So the deck, it worked well. We Upheavaled really well. It felt powerful. We were able to win some games without Upheaval. One of the upsides of Urza plus Urza Saga is that sometimes we just make big like 10-10 constructs and win the game that way. But the deck's fun, it's synergistic, it's explosive, it's got a cool surprise way to finish the game that people get salty about. It is pretty much everything I love in Modern. So it's a good one. If you're looking for something different to play in Modern, I would definitely recommend some Mono Blue Upheaval action. So much card advantage, super spicy, really unique. So anyway, that's Mono Blue Upheaval. That's been our Much Brew for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.